All right, it's been about a week since I did one of these, so I've got two more videos left for my graded card reveals. I picked a random number, it was number 2, so I want to do this one this video, and then next one we have left is going to be a two-parter, a small box from PSA and some CSG. So let's get to it. Again, large box from PSA, should be some pretty good stuff in here. A bit more random, I think, than than some of our other videos. One area that I haven't touched on a whole lot in my other videos is a collection of mine that I quite like. It's actually surfing cards. So Kelly Slater is obviously the greatest surfer of all time, one of the most dominant athletes of all time. The world champion 11 different years, and he has a very, very rare card from 1987 when he was just a teenager. I think it was 14 or 15. But other than that, his first card was 1993. Futura had the first set that they produced was in 1993. It was called the Hot Surf set, and this is the Kelly Slater rookie card. So this card really blew up this year. He was only 20 when this card was made. So what does that put the 1987 card? He was about 14, like I said. But this is a really cool card. Most people consider this his rookie because he really, he was basically a kid when another card came out. It's very, very hard to find. So I got this in an 8, and I submitted 2 copies. And this card in an 8 goes for, between low end probably $120, high end maybe $220, so in that kind of $150 to $200 range typically. So getting those in an 8 was about what I expected, about what I hoped, so that's awesome. But I didn't just get Kelly Slater cards, and I didn't just submit the 1993s. I submitted some 1994 Kelly Slaters, so I got an 8 on this. The 1995 Kelly Slater, got a 9 on that. This, I think, is one of his absolutely coolest cards. This is called the Surf Casual, which is a really cool shot. So a 7's not really what I was hoping for there. Still a cool card. Probably something that somebody out there would want, but definitely not going to be a premium price for a 7. This one, on the other hand, is a really nice grade. Getting a 9 in that makes me, pretty happy. And this is from the 1995 set. He actually had 3 cards in the 1994 set and 3 cards in the 1995 set. Only the 1 in the 1993, so that's his only rookie. Submitted a couple other ones from 1995. This one got an 8.5. And this one was probably the star of the show. I got a Gem Mint 10 on this, which, if you've submitted Futura cards, I'm sure if you've been watching my channel, you've seen how poorly I've done with a lot of those. The Sashins in particular got crushed on them. So getting a 10 on any of those is really, really hard. This was a huge disappointment. I submitted, he had 2, this is actually his only kind of serial numbered insert card from those years. And I submitted 2 of them. I looked them over really well. I thought that they both would get at least an 8. Was hoping for a 9, thought an outside chance at maybe even a 10, and I got a 6 on both of them, which, there must be something that's happening in the production process of these that, there must be some, microscopic nick or something that some PSA graders are just, going to town on, because, I don't know, I have a hard time believing that a card that to the naked eye looks like a 10 that you should get a 6 on. It just seems crazy to me. But, that's what happened. I got a 6 on both of these, so what will I do with those? Probably nothing. Maybe at some point I'll crack them and resubmit them or send them to CSG or something. Who knows? But anyway, that was the Kelly Slaters. 2 other great surfers. Rob Machado, very, very famous surfer, very popular. That's his rookie card. I got a 9 on that. I only submitted 1 of those, was very happy with a 9. That's a great grade for this set. Submitted 1 Tom Curran, who, Kelly Slater won 11 championships. I think Curran won 3 times. He was the world champion, maybe 4. And if it wasn't for Kelly Slater, he would have won a bunch more. So he was a really, really great surfer. And then Mark Richards also was a world champion. He was excellent as well. So I got an 8 on that. And the rest of these, I think, are all a surfer who I'll talk about here in a second. So Lane Beachley, I submitted a lot of these. The reason for that is I think that she's kind of flying under the radar. I think there's going to be some people out there that are going to be interested in the #1 female surfer of all time. Lane Beachley was a 7-time world champion. And when this card came out, she was quite young. So this is her rookie card. And she had never been a world champion at this point. She won her 7 titles after this. But, you know, I'll just kind of go through these quickly. I got an 8, a 9, which again is an excellent grade. I think there have been something like 100 Kelly Slaters submitted to PSA. Maybe not quite that many. Maybe it's like 70 or something. Only 2 of them got a 10, and only 20 something got a 9. So getting a 9 is very tough. An 8 is a good grade. I've gotten 6s and 7s on the Kelly Slaters, so 8s and 9s are awesome. Another 9. Another 9. Another 8. Another 9. So again, I submitted a lot of these, and I was blown away by these. So there are now 4 cards that have gotten a 10 in this. The 2 Kelly Slaters I mentioned, and these 2 Lane Beachleys. So, you know, I'm going to hold these. I just find it kind of crazy to think about, you know, an all-time great in a sport. You know, women's surfing is actually a really, you know, well-respected sport, and to think about these grading as 10s is pretty outstanding. So happy to have the 10s. Frankly, I was just happy to get some 9s. So all those graded really, really, really high. So, you know, happy with those. All right, so for those of you that don't care much about surfing, I apologize for that part. Now to the good stuff. Alan Donald got his, you know, I call this a rookie card. He actually has a 1992 card from the Total set, the same one as Sashin, but you know, this is his second earliest card. So got a mint 9 on that. And then Andy Flower, who was a great Zimbabwe player, was a Hall of Fame inductee. I only got a 6 on that one. Again, Futura strikes again, but you know, got that one slabbed. On to the next part of this. So Ricky Ponting, again, Futura special, got a 6 on that, even though to the naked eye it looks perfect. Another 6. But, you know, this is kind of same quality essentially as the other ones to my naked eye. And I say naked eye, I actually put these under the scope, looked at these really closely. I'll hold these 3 up. You know, there's something about these 2 6s that PSA thought was like a major, major flaw. They're all nicely centered. They all look super crisp, all have really nice corners, and 2 of them got a 6 and 1 of them got a 9. So you tell me, I don't know. At least I got the 1-9 because it's a really great card. It's Ricky Ponting's like undisputed rookie card, and a really just awesome card. So glad to have a 9 there. We'll probably sell one of the 6s, and I don't know, maybe crack the other one. Andrew Simons got an 8 on his rookie card. This is from the 1994 set, same one as the Ricky Ponting. Also from that set, the great Australian batter Gilchrist, that's a 9. And you know, Gilchrist was an amazing wicket keeper too. So you know, some lists will have him as a top 10 player of all time, definitely like a top 5 player of his era. So I submitted a couple of his rookie cards, got 9s on both of them, which obviously I was happy with. Glenn McGrath, one of the greatest bowlers of the era. He and Warne, you know, McGrath is the fast bowler and Warne is a spin bowler. Just absolutely devastating. So, you know, same kind of thing, right? Submitted my best two, I thought, and got 6s on these, whereas the Gilchrist seemed similar quality and got 9s on those. So, you know, what are you gonna do? And then he has a kind of insert card. I think these came in like 1 out of every 3 packs or something, but got an 8 on that. So that's another rookie for Gilchrist, or for McGrath, I should say. All right. So to end here, I've got a big stack. All these are Shane Warnes. And Warne, obviously an absolute legend. Watch his highlights from YouTube. If you've seen him before, watch him again because they're just really fun to watch. His rookie year is 1993. And he's actually got a fair number of cards from 1993. I've shown some videos before of the Top Sport set, which is the South African one, that I have some albums of that have his card in there. And then I've got a couple loose ones that aren't in great shape. But when I submitted these, I didn't have those yet. So this submission was back from last summer, and I submitted basically all my nicest rookies and a couple second years as well, I think. But this was a set called County Print Services from 1993. And there's actually 2 different cards that have the same caricature on it. These ones are a little bit taller. The 1994 ones have a different back, and they are a slightly different shape. So I've got a couple of those as well, but I only submitted my 1993s, and I submitted 2 of those. Was very happy to get 9s on both of those. So that was awesome. Next up, Buttercup Bread. So the green series had a few different Warnes in it. I submitted 2 of this card. I thought both of them were really nice. I got an 8 and a 6. And to be honest with you, a 6 in this is not that disappointing. These are very, very thin card stock. And you know, the back has that scratch area, which is easily kind of like nicked. So there's a lot of reasons to kind of knock these down from like an 8 or a 9 down to like a 6 or 7. So getting an 8 was really nice. That's a good grade on these. The 6 was okay as well. The next one up was Warne and Healy Celebration. That one also got a 6. And then this one, you know, pretty, you know, kind of shocking to get a 4 on that. Like, I would promise you right now, if I submitted this to SGC or CSG, the odds of me getting below a 6 are like almost 0. So for whatever reason, PSA thought this card that looks perfect to your eye is lower condition than a lot of cards I've gotten back from like the 1920s and 30s. Don't tell me, I don't know why. But anyway, got a 4 on that. This is my favorite Buttercup card of all, and this is the blue 1993. And this is another rookie for Warne. And this one is just, I think it's super cool card. You've got his portrait there. It's a hard set to track down. Really, both of these, you know, you'll see them come on eBay, and usually people's asking prices aren't that high. They'll only ask maybe, you know, between $20 and $50 for the set. But they just don't pop up that much, right? Like, I look for them and I've barely ever seen them pop up, and if they do pop up, they're usually gone really quickly. So I was happy to find those. Next up, one 1994 card. So I submitted this one. I like this card a lot and got a 9 on it. This is the Warne second year. The rest of these are going to be all the same card. And this is the 1993 kind of flagship Fuchera rookie card. And again, I've done very hit or miss on these base cards in general. So to start off with, got an 8, which I'm happy with. A 6, which, what are you gonna do? Not so happy with, but it happens. A 7.5, which is fine. There you go. Now that's what we're talking about, a 9. So that is a really, really solid grade for this set. Really, for any of these 1993 to 1996 base cards for Fuchera, they are just really, really tough condition. So I got a 9 on that. I got a 9 on this one. one more 9, and I'll end the video on a high note. Was not expecting this. A very, very tough card to even get a 9 on, so getting a 10 was really one of the highlights of the entire submission. So there it is, a bit of an odd submission there. Hope that you enjoyed at least part of that, if not the surf, at least the cricket. Some real legends here across the board in 2 sports that I think are underrated in the hobby, and just really cool. I like to collect both of them, so I hope you enjoyed it.